There's something nobody really talks about when it comes to losing your hair after 50, especially if you're a black man. And it's not the hair itself. It's the way it changes how you see yourself. You spent your whole life showing up a certain way. And then one morning, the mirror shows you someone different. Here's what I want you to hear today. Your hair follicles are not dead. Most of them are just sleeping. And I'm about to show you how to wake them up using 3 simple methods you can start tonight. They don't cost much. They don't involve any surgery or prescriptions. And the third method can start working within weeks. I'm also going to share a bonus step at the end that most people never hear about. And it could be the piece that changes everything for you. Let's get into it, starting with the simplest one, Method 1, the scalp wake-up. This method is something you can do tonight with nothing but your hands. It's a scalp massage. And before you brush that off, hear me out because there's real science behind this. As you get older, blood flow to your scalp slows down. Your follicles get less oxygen, fewer nutrients. They start to go quiet. A scalp massage reverses that. The pressure from your fingertips stretches the cells underneath your scalp that are responsible for growing hair. It wakes them back up, and it floods the area with fresh blood flow. A team out of Japan, led by Dr. Koyama, tested this exact routine. 4 minutes of scalp massage a day. After 6 months, the hair was measurably thicker. And when a larger group of over 300 people tried it on their own, nearly 70% said their hair improved. Here's how you do it. Use your fingertips, never your nails. Light to medium pressure, small circles. Start at your forehead and temples, move to the crown, then the sides and back. 4 to 5 minutes total. That's it. You can do this while you're watching TV, before bed, in the shower. If your scalp is tender or sensitive, go lighter and shorter at first. Work your way up. Now, the next method takes this to another level because what you put on your scalp while you're massaging it can make a big difference. Method 2. The oil treatment. There's an oil you can pick up at almost any grocery store that went head-to-head with a popular hair loss drug in a clinical trial, and it matched it. Same results, fewer side effects. That oil is rosemary. Dr. Panahi and his team ran the study with 100 people dealing with hair loss. Half of them used rosemary oil on their scalp. The other half used a well-known hair loss drug. After 6 months, both groups had the same level of regrowth. No real difference between them. But the rosemary group had fewer side effects. A more recent clinical trial in 2025 took it further. Rosemary oil combinations improved hair growth rate by nearly 58%. Thickness went up close to 69%, and hair fall dropped by over 40%. Here's how you do it. Take 3 to 5 drops of pure rosemary essential oil. Mix it into about a tablespoon of jojoba oil. Jojoba is the best choice here because it's the closest thing to what your scalp produces naturally. Coconut oil works too if that's what you have. Massage the mixture into your scalp for 3 to 5 minutes. You're combining this with method 3 now, so you're doubling up the massage. Leave it on for at least 30 minutes. Overnight is even better. Then wash it out with a gentle sulfate-free shampoo. Do these 2 to 3 times a week. Now, if you've spent years putting chemical products on your scalp, relaxers, harsh dyes, products that burned and stripped, this is the opposite of that. This is feeding your scalp, giving it something that actually helps it do its job. Quick tip, add 1 or 2 drops of peppermint oil to the mix. You'll feel a cool tingle. That's the blood flow increasing. It gives everything an extra push. And I want to be straight with you on timing. You're not going to see results in a week. Give it 8 to 12 weeks of real consistency. That's when most people start noticing a change. The clinical study measured results at 6 months. This takes patience, but the research says it's worth it. Now, everything we've covered so far works on the outside, but the most powerful method works from the inside, and most people have no idea they're missing it. Method 3, the inside-out method. You could massage your scalp every day and use the best oils on the market, but if your body doesn't have the raw materials to grow hair from the inside, you're working with an empty tank. And after 50, most of us are running low on a few of those materials without even knowing it. Let's start with the big one, vitamin D. Over 80% of Black Americans are vitamin D deficient. 80%. And here's why. Melanin, the same thing that protects your skin, also reduces how much vitamin D your body can make from sunlight. So if you've got darker skin and you're living anywhere in the US that isn't sunny year-round, your levels are probably lower than they should be. And vitamin D plays a direct role in how your hair follicles cycle through growth. When your levels drop, your follicles slow down. Getting your vitamin D levels checked with a simple blood test might be the single most important thing you do after watching this video. If your levels are low, 1,500 to 2,000 IU of vitamin D3 daily can help. Take it with a meal that has some fat in it, a little butter, some avocado, a handful of nuts. Vitamin D needs fat to absorb properly. Now, beyond vitamin D, there are a few other nutrients your hair is hungry for, and you don't need fancy supplements to get them. Eggs and peanut butter give you biotin. Beef, chicken, and lentils give you zinc. Spinach, black beans, and red meat give you iron. Pair those with something high in vitamin C like an orange or some bell peppers, and your body absorbs the iron even better. Salmon, walnuts, and flax seeds give you omega-3s. This is all grocery store food, nothing exotic. Now here's one more thing most people have never heard of. Pumpkin seed oil, not on your scalp. You take it as a capsule. Your body produces a hormone called DHT that gradually shrinks the tiny openings where your hair grows from. Over time, the hair gets thinner and weaker until it stops showing up. Pumpkin seed oil naturally blocks that hormone. Dr. Cho and his team ran a gold standard clinical trial. Men who took 400 milligrams of pumpkin seed oil daily for 6 months saw a 40% increase in hair count. The placebo group saw only 10%. You can find pumpkin seed oil capsules at most grocery stores and pharmacies. And one more thing that's easy to overlook: water. Your scalp is skin. If your body is dehydrated, your skin can't do its job, and your follicles can't get the nutrients they need to do theirs. 6 to 8 glasses a day. Simple. Now, before you go, there's one more thing I promised you at the beginning, and this might be the part that changes everything. Bonus tip: what to stop doing. The 3 methods I just explained to you work better when you stop doing the things that are working against them, and there are a few that most people don't think twice about. First, hot water. I know it feels good, but hot water strips the natural oils off your scalp and dries out the environment your follicles need to do their job. Warm water is fine. Hot water is not. Second, aggressive towel drying. Rubbing your head hard with a cotton towel creates friction that snaps weakened hair right off. Pat dry instead, or use a soft t-shirt. It sounds small, but it matters. Third, your pillowcase. You move your head 30 to 40 times a night. Cotton grabs and pulls at your hair every single time. A silk or satin pillowcase or a satin-lined cap cuts that friction by over a third. You make that switch once and it works for you every night while you sleep. Fourth, if you've been wearing tight braids, cornrows, or locks pulled tight at the root for years, that tension can cause its own type of hair loss. Doctors call it traction alopecia, and if that pulling has been going on for decades, it adds up. Loosening your styles and giving your edges a break can let those follicles recover. And fifth, chemical products, relaxers. Anything with sodium hydroxide, formaldehyde, or parabens. If you've used these products for years, nobody is judging you. That was what was available. That was what was normal. But now you know there are gentler options, and your scalp will thank you for making the switch. One more thing while we're here. If you're noticing thinning right at the crown of your head and your scalp feels tender or itchy in that spot, that's worth mentioning to a dermatologist. There's a type of hair loss called CCCA that's more common in Black men and women than most doctors realize. And catching it early makes all the difference. You came into this video worried about your hair. I hope you're leaving it knowing you're not powerless here. There are real things you can do tonight. If you know someone who's been dealing with this quietly, send this to them. Your hair doesn't define you, but you deserve to feel like yourself again.